This is the beginning of the end with the Lakers for LeBron.
Things are getting awkward in LA, with the Lakers signaling that they're finally ready to move on from LeBron. James opted into his final $52 million year, putting out a cryptic statement talking about Genie and the Lakers in past tense and emphasizing the importance of competing for a championship in the sunset of his career. And here's where it gets messy. Information surfaced that Pelinka and the Lakers are focused on clearing maximum cap space for the summer of 2027, when they can pursue another superstar to pair with Doncic. Are they insane? Why waste years when you have arguably two of the best players in the league on your team right now? That plan sends a loud and clear message. LA is prioritizing the future over its present. They just let Dorian Finney-Smith, a rock-solid 3-and-D guy, go over to the Rockets without even putting up a fight for him. And they watched centers like Clint Capella and Brook Lopez ending up on Western contending teams, leaving them empty-handed at the moment. Though this might be promising for LA fans.
Will the Lakers land DeAndre Ayton?
That is a strong possibility. The Lakers already had a plethora of options to look for at the center position in free agency. We had Clint Capella out there, you had Brook Lopez out there, and now you add DeAndre Ayton all of a sudden to the equation. And then, if they're able to land this, which again, sources have told me this is a strong possibility.
If DeAndre Ayton comes to LA along with Jake LaRavia, whom they signed as a Temu replacement for Dorian Finney-Smith, the Lakers could be in the playoff mix next season as well. However, that mostly depends on Luka Doncic having an all-out revenge tour and Austin Reeves elevating to the next level. From the Rich Paul corner, they've let the world know that they'll be watching closely to ensure the Lakers put up a complete roster for next season. And if they don't, the king could be gone.
He has not had any discussion with the Lakers about wanting a trade on the back end of this statement. He did say that 4 teams have contacted him in the last 24 hours wanting to talk trades, but Rich didn't have any substantive conversations with those teams either. Right now, LeBron is focused on playing on a championship caliber roster. Rich told me, there's no guarantees in building a championship caliber roster, but we know what it looks like and what it doesn't look like. And we'll see if in a week from now, when Rob Pelinka is finished doing his work with this roster, if it looks like a winning, realistic situation.
Thing is, I don't think there's a market for LeBron at the moment. And Windy took it a step forward.
When this statement came out, I began to call teams. I identified the handful of teams that I could see LeBron trying to be traded to. But I did not find a team that was prepared for this. And they were all caught flat-footed by this. Again, if you have a whiteboard and Bobby Marks and the trade machine, you can demonstrate how it's done, but it's not feasible for
That's right. That's the right word for it. It's theoretically possible, but not actually feasible.
But there's a few players in the league that you could trade LeBron for in a 1-for-1 scenario. And I have talked to some of those agents. They, in some cases, talked to the teams of their players' teams, and I found nothing indicating there was anything afoot here in terms of a transaction.
Bottom line is that if he ever wanted to get out of LA, he could have by opting out of his contract and signing for a veteran deal wherever he thinks he'll have the best chance of winning it all. But he didn't. He took the money, which reminded me of this clip 8 years ago.
Who is the cheapest guy in the NBA?
Who is it?
And Dwayne Wade says, LeBron James.
That is so falsely true. I'm not turning on data roaming. I'm not buying no apps. I still got Pandora with commercials.
You know you're rich, right?
I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying.
True.
Or maybe, just maybe, this could turn into James's farewell season. Listen to what he said on a family dinner with Kevin Love and their wives.
I ain't mad looking at New York. You're seeing your fucking retire next year or so.
Now let's move on from the 40-year-old who's still making the headlines to the actual winners and losers of free agency so far. And we gotta start with the Houston Rockets. Look at their depth chart. They essentially swapped Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks for Kevin freaking Durant and Dorian Finney-Smith. And they added Clint Capella, who alongside Şengün and Steven Adams forms the scariest frontcourt in the league. As good and promising Jalen Green might be, he's been twice as inconsistent in the playoffs. Ime Udoka had him on the bench late in crucial games. And now you have the easy money sniper filling up the only weakness on your team when the game slows down, and that's a certified go-to guy in the half-court offense.
Cross the floor to Durant, 2 on the shot clock. Boom! You know who he is.
And the Rockets quickly addressed the losing of a defensive menace in Dillon Brooks with the addition of Dorian Finney-Smith, a slightly better three-point shooter and a calm and humble guy who's on the court for all the right reasons, which cannot be said for Dillon. Houston went all in for the next season, and I'm putting them right behind OKC in the wildest West in years. Next are the Atlanta Hawks, believe it or not. They made a big buzz around the league on draft day, stealing Kristaps Porzingis from the Celtics for Terrence Mann, George Niang, and a couple of second rounders.
And 404 from downtown, but it's defensively.
It's obvious that Boston is entering a gap year while waiting for Tatum to heal from the Achilles, so they offloaded a ton of capital by trading away KP and Drew Holiday. But the Hawks didn't stop there, and last night they announced the acquisition of two sharpshooters in Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Luke Kennard. This is a loss for the Timberwolves for letting one of their key players in NWA get away in free agency. All of a sudden, Atlanta went from a team expected to fall apart to a top 6 in the East for sure. And the Nuggets re-established themselves as a contender in my opinion, simply by trading Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson and bringing back their old pal Bruce Brown, who was a vital part of their title run in 2023. Johnson is a super efficient player and inserts fresh blood into Denver's lineup, and as long as he stays healthy, he should fit right in alongside Jokic and Murray. That shouldn't be a problem for Bruce as well, who's going to add a much needed depth to this roster, which they lacked the most in the playoffs. The Nuggets will still need a reliable point guard though, and I'm thinking about someone not named Russell Westbrook. Veterans like Chris Paul and Malcolm Brogdon, for example, are still available, and they can give Denver stability at the playmaking role. I like the Mavs signing D'Angelo Russell to fulfill the gap while Kyrie returns. Dallas won the lottery and got the most promising rookie prospect in a while with Cooper Flagg. And as long as AD is healthy, they look excellent on paper. Captain Clay is still there, Max Christie, PJ Washington, and Derek Lively are only going to get better, and Daniel Gafford got his extension, rounding up an intimidating frontcourt. And once Irving is back, the Mavericks can easily spoil the plans of West contenders come playoff time. The Clippers are another team that's gotten better in the West by snatching Brook Lopez right from under the Lakers' nose. Mind you, they forced the Nuggets to a Game 7 in the first round, and now they have another big body to throw at Jokic besides Ivica Zubac. Reports came out that Kawhi has been training all the way till the finals ended to get his body ready for playing late into the season. Moving on to the Eastern Conference for my Knicks that got the Filipino assassin Jordan Clarkson to cook from the bench. This is exactly what New York needed, a scoring boost and a ball handler while Brunson is resting. With Boston and Indiana riddled by injuries, this could be the golden opportunity for the Knicks to finally return to the NBA Finals after 26 years. However, we still need to hire a coach before that happens. And the Magic must have heard me in my previous video, so they got out and signed Tyus Jones last night, forming a very respectable backcourt with Desmond Bane. They're expected to fight for the top 4 spots in the East for sure. And if they can get a quality center as well, Orlando could be a problem even for New York next season. That's it for now. Drop a comment. Who do you think are the biggest winners and losers of free agency so far? Talk to you in the next one. Peace out.